Good day, hi, and welcome. Wise men say, may hands make for white work, but skillful hand make for eighth string mastery. Awesome. All right, now that I've lost all my Asian subscribers, whatever. I mean, I used to be able to do stuff like that back in the day, and they just mock you back, you know. But we're gonna go a little late getting going. I thought it was gonna be working, but it was working. But I did some work up at home because you clear the side of the shed and that. There's the morning view, mid-morning, almost afternoon now. It's like 11:30. So Barry was down here when my dad came down here. My dad needed a gas can for his moose hunting. He says, "Do you have any small gas cans down there?" I said, "I think so, but I need a carrying apparatus. Let's go back in and get the carrying apparatus." And what is the carrying apparatus? Well, it's a bag. It's my bag, the bag. Yeah. This is how candy bar wrappers end up in my black walnut. And I noticed there the finally the butternut up home, they're the tops of the trees actually had nuts on them. But guess where they're falling? Directly on freaking my truck. So anyway, I saw a whole bunch there. There's some. Of course, these meteors don't come down and hit you in the head. I swear to God. I mean, these suckers. Smell that one. Oh, it smells good. Doesn't it smell good? Oh, wow. These suckers, they hit you in the head. They're like a small, what they call a softball size, right? About the same weight and same density. They can knock you out pretty good. There's a whole bunch. There's a whole bunch here. Whoop. I need to get in a wide mode, that's why. I'm gonna have a whole bunch. I'm gonna have them all. Oh, good one. You never get them all. Like they get hidden underneath the. Last night it was like -5. Yeah. Yeah, but I got the side of the woodshed up home cleared for the snowplow guy. Oh, he gets that one. But this one's mine. It's on my side. So Marvin gets those ones. I get these ones. So, haha. I haven't seen Marvin yet today. Is he up there? I see him up there. Where is he? I hope freaking Joey didn't eat him. Joey's that new cat. I had a discussion with my brother about him. He says, "No," I says, "I don't think I've seen that cat." So I didn't see Casper down here, but he's usually down here early in the morning. So I don't know how much I'm going to get done today. Might be a little bit too late to throw things in the fire pit. Yeah, it's a little too windy. So today might just be a recording day. I didn't bring down the shop back. Came down, my dad brought me down in the truck. So I brought a whole bunch of stuff down. Have a look. So Henry out of there. Yeah, the garbage can. Put this back where it belongs. This is a very good carrying apparatus. It's my morning provision carrying apparatus. Yeah, it's Friday. I'm gonna take it easy today. Buddy calls me in a mad panic this morning. This is the way it is this time of year, right? So it's like, "Say, Reg, are you doing anything tomorrow? Tell me you're not doing it." I said, "Well, I might be. I don't know. But I gotta see if I can sweep because this week kind of got thrown off a bit. I was supposed to work for a client today, but I called him last night, but he didn't call me back this morning. So I'll call him tonight, and usually when he doesn't call back, it's because he's really busy. And if he didn't call me in the morning, he's probably working. So these are people that I don't like to disturb them when they're at work. So, okay, we miss it this week. We'll get it next week. No problem. But I had to put off another client that was normally today for tomorrow. But my buddy called me this morning, and he's like, "All right," because he wants to finish up his house in town that he's trying to sell, and all that good stuff. So I'm like, "Yeah, no problem. You know, like I'll know by tonight." I touch base with my clients like pretty much daily. You know, whoever I'm going to work for the next day, I call the night before or a couple of nights before, whatever. So what I'll say is, "Oh, if you don't mind, if I could help out my buddy because he's kind of in a bit of desperate situation. Worst case scenario, I could work Sunday, but then that means I'll have no days off. But I had some days off this week, so okay, it works out. Okay, so I had Tuesday and Thursday off instead of Saturday and Sunday. Okay, fine. That's fine. It's October. I'll take what I can get. So no mouse this morning. I think I'm gonna reload my traps with some fresh peanut butter because I think I have picky mice. I'm not sure. Okay, I have squirrels with attitude problems. I got a really nefarious chipmunk. I got two very apathetic cats prowling around, and a retarded dog. Barry comes down here. Marley hasn't followed me down yet. I won't let her, but yeah, if there's the one pet I actually wouldn't mind having down here, it would be her. You know, because she just comes and goes and whatever does her thing, right? Like the friendliest dog. Maybe I'll take my poor cat Missy for a journey down here one day. You know, let her spend the afternoon down here with me. I don't think she would care. Yeah, I really don't think she would care. She'd be like, "Wow, what am I doing down here?" You know, like send me back home. Yeah. Then I don't want her journeying this far anyway because it's, you know, at her age and so she's like 16-year-old cat, right? So I was like, you don't want her traveling this far, and I don't want to go to get her close to the road. But I was just thinking of Her Royal Highness having some new scenery. That's all. Yeah, I had to pick her up. She's trying to trip me. Walking down the stairs this morning, I had to pick her up and pet her for her trying to kill me. Cats are really out there, aren't they? Yeah, the other thing I had to do today, because I was hoping to do Sunday, if I can, is if I'm not working, is I cleaned the stove pipes for our furnace this morning while I was waiting for my client to call, and I checked out the chimney. And I knew last year that I should have probably swept the chimney. So Sunday, because my dad goes, it's not this weekend, it's the next weekend that he goes moose hunting. So I want to get well, my brother and I can do it, but I want to sweep the chimney there. I got to talk to my aunt. Just go check. Clean the stove. Like she doesn't burn wood as much anymore, but she has a heat pump. But power goes out and stuff like that. So when it does, I want to make sure that everything's safe for her because I don't know if my cousin got to it yet or not. So I'll have to call her. Maybe they did. Maybe he did. So it's always like between my cousin, my dad, and I. To see if keep that chimney swept and stuff like that. That one's really easy to do. You can literally the ladder right upside the house and down you go, right? Because that house is only one story. Mine, I have to scale the roof. It's a pain in the ass. You got to get a ladder onto the roof and then another ladder up to the chimney. And you got to tie it down off the vehicle on the other side. You got to climb up there, do the job, try to get this big freaking rod up in the air, one section at a time. Put it on, get all the way down. Do all that without dying, and then come back down safe and sound. And then when you're done, you got to go down to the basement and dig out all the rest of the stuff coming down. But with my brother, there, what I could get him to do is, as I'm flushing it down, he can take some out, flush more down, because you need somebody in the basement to tell you when the brush is past the actual flute. For the fluke, where the hole is, and you go past that, and then there's a second one. Well, actually, I got three holes. Basically, I got the one for the pipe. I got a second one. What was that? Oh, yes. At one point, we had both gas and oil. That's why we have a third one. But normally, I have one up the top here, and then a clean out hatch at the very, very bottom. But I have one in the middle that was where the oil furnace at one point, we had both wood and oil. Now we have electric, oil, and the heat pump, right? And the heat pump is fine up to about minus 20, minus 30. I'm actually quite impressed how well the heat pump worked, but it's like $500 every 2 months, like to run it. Like it's just like holy fuck. My dad, when my dad got the first hydro bill from it last year, he's like, well, we're not doing that again. Yeah. So, but with all of us up there paying the rent and stuff like that, it is easier. So I started throwing in wood last night. So like I'm like in that trying to get everything done for everybody. So like this is kind of a strange busy time for me. It's a busy downtime for me because like all the stuff that you have to have ready for the snow plow, so that all that. Had to clear out the back of the shed so my brother could put more stuff there for now. I still got to do the scrap metal runs. I'm going to do them after my dad comes back, so it's probably going to be like late October, early November when I do my last scrap metal runs. But next week, if I have a day off, I want to at least do an eco center run. All the free stuff that we can get rid of, that we don't have to pay to get rid of, like tires, as long as they're not on rims, chemical stuff like that, load it in the truck. Even if we have to make like 10 trips over time, just keep hauling shit out of the house, out of the all that. And that's what I'm going to do, because like there's all kinds of chemical stuff down here that I got to get rid of. And like if I had my own vehicle, it'd already be underway. You know what I mean? Like I would go out there every morning to get my provisions, and I'd stop in at the eco center on the way out. And okay, here's some electronics, here's some old car oil, stuff like that. Like there's stuff, right? And and if there's anything really big that we have to get rid of, save it for the large waste pickup. That's fine. Just put it somewhere where it's out of the way. Like I got one or two mattresses up there that we have to get rid of, and then one or two mattresses down. I think there's at least two mattresses for sure. It's hard to know. I might find another one in there. It's hard to say, right? But and then the couch, right? Once those two big things are out of there, my dad went and had a look in the woodshed, and we were discussing the back wall and stuff like that, and what he thought would be a good plan of attack back there and stuff like that. But yeah, so we had a discussion on that. But he was looking and he goes, I don't know how long this building's going to stand the woodshed. But I'm like, well, yeah. But I said my goal with it is like I'm going to keep the tin and the rafters. Maybe not this year, but like next year, the year after, get some big pillars and just make a big lean-to, level it out a little bit more. And if there's any, wood that's good, I'll just put it up, but I'll leave it skirted high enough that it's above the ground so wind can get in, so that it dries out wood, right? Basically, that's all it's going to be, is a woodshed. That's what it was built as. That's what my grandfather built it as. That's what we're going to use it. And I was talking to my dad about cleaning out the barns and stuff like that, and all the old shit in there. And I think my dad's kind of like green light on anything. You just do whatever you want to do, because no one else is going to do it, right? No one else is going to do it. And he's like, if you want to cut down that bush, cut down that, just cut them all down. You trim it up to this, or just cut it all down. Whatever you want to do. He goes, just don't even ask, just do it, My aunt and uncle, same thing. Like, it's like, do you mind if I do this or that? I always ask people, they're like, oh, fucking, like my uncle was saying, he saw me with the brush cutter. He's and the grin on his face, and my aunt and his face, they were just like, oh, yeah, no, keep going. Like it's going to be a disaster for first a little bit, but as it gets cleaned up, it's a big job for one man. It's a 3-year job. Like, okay, if I was paid by the hour, working 8 hours a day, 40 hours a week on it or more, okay, it's not going to take 3 years. You see how much I can get off of one tank of brush cutting, right? But making a living in between that, only getting a couple hours a day, 2 or 3 times a week, that takes a long time. Like, look, I'm a month and like a month and a week and almost a month and a half in, and look at how much I've done, but look at how much left to go. You know what I mean? Like it's like I haven't even really started the project yet. You know what I mean? Like I cut a little bit of grass, took the chainsaw, but I haven't really started yet. You know what I mean? Like I'm still dealing with in here, which there's not much left to deal with. I mean, I got to straighten things up a little bit more, kind of let things kind of get a little bit, dirty, walking around with the shoes on. But I'm gonna that ends as soon as I do Operation Pine Saw. Like I still got to wash the walls. I think I got to do round 2 on the cobwebs. But I also wanted to monitor it for a month to see how fast stuff comes, like how fast it gets dirty, like how fast the mouse shit actually comes in. And well, I'm catching the mice pretty fast, but there's little, like little droppings here and there. So if I like do like a big cleanup every 2 months in this house, place is going to be immaculate. The big one is just keeping airing everything out. I don't know how long more, if it was -5, I came in here, mind you, I came in here late, the heat wasn't on. Heat kicks on by itself. I still got to figure all that out. I got to figure out, like my brother said, and I got to check it out again. I've seen it, but he says there's an actual heating register right beside where the water pump is. He goes, it doesn't do much, but, it keep the water from freezing. So I might have to do like a plastic barrier, not enough to create a fire hazard or like that, but like, cover, right where the pipe comes in, maybe throw some insulation around it or something. Whatever I could do to bury, keep a heat barrier in there a bit, because the basement's going to be god awful cold. I got to plug that hole so all kinds of little critters ain't coming in. I got to get that done. I got 2 windows left to cover. That's it for now. I think I should have lots of plastic. I might have to double up on some of the plastic. But that window wasn't done. My brother had stuff in the way, and I guess he just never got around to doing that one. But that'll help that one, because that's predominantly where the wind's going to be coming from. The back windows, I've already noticed the room being warmer just putting in that little, because you get kind of like this bit of a heat barrier off the window with that plastic on there. It's kind of neat. But it also makes me wonder why they didn't pull the plastics off in the summer. No wonder it was so hot in here. You're creating a greenhouse, right? You're going to get a bit of a greenhouse effect. Around the kitchen window, that one's going to be the trickiest to do, just because there's, the window is, like kind of crooked, the frame's crooked and all that, to seal up all the cracks. But it's not like hard to do. It's going to be the one that's going to require the most sealing up, so to speak. And then from there, I'll make a custom plastic for it. Maybe I put it on both sides. But I do like the idea of being able to open at least one window in the winter. So it'll be that one, which what I'll do is I'll staple the plastic on one side and then just leave enough that I can peel back and put, the little tacks in there, little pins. And so if I want to open the window, maybe get a mild day or something like that and get some air flowing in here. We'll see. Because airflow is always good. But anyway, what I wanted to talk to you about, I've got to say it properly, everybody else in the world, you need to enunciate the Canadian version of it. A boot. And boots, right? Wear your boots when you're going a boot. People need to learn how to speak. But anyway, no, yesterday was a very successful day down here getting stuff done. Today, okay, I didn't get anything done down here yet because I just got here. Whatever. But I did cook. That freaking laundry basket's almost half full of black walnuts. So I'm going to shuffle them around so that they, as they dry out, I'll be able to eat some. Gonna throw some in the freezer for next spring. See if we can plant them. The other thing that I wanted to do today was break out the bass and start recording my bass. Yesterday I did record that Mesa Boogie Cab at quite a good volume, so hopefully I didn't piss off my aunt and uncle too much yesterday with the H string. But what a good sound did I ever get out of that. That song Crystallize is really coming along. And while I was recording the song yesterday, I was thinking how I do the video and stuff like that. And again, how do you do stuff with next to no budget, or basically no budget because I'm poor? Well, I came up with a concept for the video and I'm like, oh my God, that would just hit. It would just hit different. And I'm like, and it would be easy to do. I just have to find the 2 people to do it. And then the concept of it is, it's like, wow, okay, that was simple but creative, And then, yeah, if I had the money to do the video the way I want, yeah, it'd be very cinematic and all that. And again, this will keep me away from having to waste time with the AI stuff. I really like real people in videos. And then I thought, for the tail end of the video, yeah, just to keep it simple. Yeah, there's some cool stuff I can do there too. Yeah, so I got that recorded. So I still got the drums, the bass, and the second vocal part to do. If I can get the bass and the vocal part done today, I'll do the drums last. The stuff you saw out on the yard, thank God Barry didn't pee on it yet. I better take it out of there because I'm trying to air it out. It was in the woodshed, and I'm trying to air it out. But that's going to be like it's basically it's the foam you roll out underneath your car when you're putting down like carpet and stuff like that. It's like just that little they call it soundproofing foam or anti-vibration foam or whatever, leveling foam. There's like 100 different names for it, but basically what it does is it creates like a bit of a sound barrier, so you don't hear the floor creaking as much and stuff like that. Adds a bit of a cushion to it underneath your carpet or your rug. I'm gonna put that under a drum riser at some point, but for now I just got to get that stuff underneath my freaking drum kit. The idea is, well, because I don't want to cut it up yet, because what I was thinking is using it for the paneling for sound, to stop the echo, so to speak. Like one of the first soundproofing techniques you use is like basically putting blankets on the wall. It's low tech. It does it, and if you get them back from the wall about an inch or two, what happens is the sound hits it. It still goes through and hits the wall, but it catches the bounce back a little bit. Is it as good as a soundproof room? No, but will it catch a little bit of reverberation? Yes. And with drums, it's probably the most echoey instrument you could possibly have. There's so many things that, like, the hardware makes noise. Everything makes noise on your drum kit. It's only when you eliminate the noise that you realize how much noise it made. It's kind of like guitars with fret wraps on it versus no fret wrap, and stuff like that. Acoustic guitars, right up the headstock, they ring like crazy, right? Get all this sympathetic resonation. So drums are like the worst, But there's little tricks you can do, like you can throw T-shirts on your drums and stuff like that. That'll dampen them and it'll catch some of the reverberation. But we'll see what I do for that one. Now, when I want to have a good 2 days so if I have to wait another week to get it record the drums, that's fine. But if I can get the bass and the second vocal line done today, that I think would be just crazy good. Eventually I do got to get a bass amp, and I thought about how I was going to record the bass, and I normally record the bass internally, right? But what I might do, the last song I did, I actually used a guitar patch in there with the distortion, and it worked really well because it kind of allowed me not to have to double track my guitar. And I was listening to this guy last night talking about stuff like that, and I'll just wrap it up here because I could make a whole video about that. This whole idea that everything new, and it's always older guys too, and all the young guys today, they'll be doing it as well. That everything today is just so much the same. It's just a cookie cutter. It's not original, blah, blah, blah. They're all using the same, patch chords. Like all these studios just, basically do cookie cutter stuff, right? Is the bottom line. And I'm like, yes, but it's always been that way. You know what I mean? And the thing is that's what signing on to a record label is. You know what I mean? It means you're going to be going through the march of their drum in such a fashion that you're going to basically be going to their studios, using their producers, using their equipment most of the time, because what they have set up is what works, right? and they don't really care if you have a very distinct guitar tone as long as it's good enough to sell what they're trying to do. And they, producers and engineers tend to stick, once they find something that works, they tend to stick with it. The same way guitar players, once they learn how to riff, they tend to stick with it. Right? That's why you get that. I don't think it's solely just a lack of creativity. I just think once people find a comfort zone, they go there. But anyway, I'm gonna make another video about that because I think that'd make a good video.